Before we jump in, just a quick note. This episode is a continuation of a previous conversation, and we're picking up right in the middle. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, it's strongly recommended. In this episode, we're picking up where Angela and I candidly discuss what it really means to put yourself first and how closing chapters on unhealthy relationships is sometimes necessary, no matter the relationship. From there, we get into our shared experiences with child abuse and go on to discuss white privilege, racism, politics, and how it can all impact your mental health and therefore your cognitive health. Listener discretion is advised. There is profanity in this episode. All right, let's get into this candid conversation. When you were saying like you can feel it inside of you, like just that misery that resonated with me, because I was thinking about this wonderful book that I read called Drama Free. I believe the author's name is Nedra. She's also on social media. I follow her as well. Hi, Nedra.
Nedra, we love you too.
I know. Nedra is actually friends with a really good friend of mine. So I have one of her books, and she signed it. But she is amazing, and she actually is. I listened to her book the entire trip to Ohio, where I'm from. This was a couple of years ago, and I was gearing up to have a conversation with my younger sister to just take some time and space, because me, when you do your work and you can separate yourself from somebody that is a family member or that you love, people need to understand, like, that doesn't mean that you hate these people. It doesn't mean that you have ill will or, negativity towards them. You're doing it for yourself. And so I listened to Drama Free on my way to Ohio, and every time that I was going to people please my way out of it and feel like I can just go along to get along for the family, I can just, where it's, I'm taking on the hits.
Yep.
And she said something that was just like, wow, to what you were saying. She said, dread, when you feel and experience dread, she said that is your body's way of communicating with you that you don't want to do whatever it is. And I hold that, because even now when I have to ask myself that question, when something's presented to me, I always start with, what do you want to do? Is this going to make you happy? And even if it's not going to make me happy, is it something that you want to do? And so I sit with that and I think, okay, am I dreading this, or is this something that I want to do, but it might be a little inconvenient from my soft girl era that I'm experiencing, because I've done the work to pull out from, this people pleasing, do what I say, experience that I've lived.
Yeah, it's true. I think that gut instinct, and when you're conditioned to abandon it, and this is what I talked about before. Like, oftentimes our mothers and these I don't know, survival skills are passed down to us. And it really was out of survival. Like, don't say anything. Don't piss them off. Just shut up and be a good girl so that everything is like copacetic around us and everybody's cool. And don't be the one to fuck it up. Because if you fuck it up, then you're going to make him mad and he's going to blow up and then he's going to leave and then we don't have, do you know what I'm saying? Like, all of those things. Like, I was 8 years old and somehow responsible for my grandfather's heart attack. Like, get out of here. But that was a learned behavior. Like, don't upset him. You're going to make him upset. And it's like, we learn that, and the deconditioning that comes along of like, nope, everybody is allowed and responsible for their own feelings, and I should do what I feel that I need to do. And if you have some type of reaction or feel some type of way about it, that's a you problem and not a me problem. But the deconditioning of being responsible for other people's feelings and the absorbing and the editing that we have to do is really hard. That's a really hard neuroplasticity like thing to rewire, because we learn that at such a formative developmental age where it becomes hardwired. Like, it's almost automatic of like, do that. Like, I have to make sure everybody's okay before me.
And I think so math.
Yeah. If you can, I think that can be the biggest like switch, is that I put my life mask on first. I am no good to anybody when I am not good. I cannot serve, I cannot give, I cannot love well if I am not okay. right? So I think that is the biggest switch that I think anybody can make is, what do I need? What do I need first? How do I fill my own cup? How do I put my life mask on so that I can go be in a family situation or whatever situation that might not be ideal? I need to be my best in order to go and do that. Because you saying, if I could just get them, you cannot change them. Please sit down and write that down. You cannot change them. They are going to be who they're going to be. Everybody is on their own journey in their own time if they choose to take that journey in the first place. So you can't control that. What you can control is how you take care of yourself to meet them where they are. Period.
Huge. You talked about a light switch with what is that going to take? The phrase that, and it was more than a light switch. It was like one of those big, you know how you flip the switch and you got to put
like
your whole
floodlight.
Yeah. Huge light came on when my cousin, who also was raised in similar trauma, our mothers are sisters, so you know, spread the joy around. But what she said to me was, don't own other people's reactions.
Yeah, it's not yours.
Because that's exactly what we were conditioned to do. And that's where that mental math comes in. Where I was like, well, just eat it, just swallow it down, just don't say anything. Because if you say this and you speak your truth, you're going to make this person cry, or you're going to make them upset, or they'll be unhappy. And so you just swallow it and you take it all on for yourself. And then you have all these things that are manifesting and, you know, happening in your body and your system and your mind. And you're carrying all of this for the benefit of someone else. And one, they could think that everything is hunky-dory, or it could be very much like my sister, my younger sister, who, when I explained like how difficult it was to interact with her in the way that she would communicate, I'm speaking my truth and I'm saying it's very, very hard for me to do X, Y, and Z for you. And her response was, as it should be, like as it should. Cool. So like there's not even a consideration for me.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, you should be catering to me. You should be swallowing your own feelings so that I'm feeling better about things. But that's how we were raised. That's how we were raised.
Well, that's the patriarchy. That's the supremacy. That's the white supremacy. Like those are the pillars, right? And I just, anybody listening, like that's the most manipulative shit. Look what you, like, I hit you. Look, you made me do that. Nah, son. You're fucking responsible for your own shit. You're responsible for your own emotions. You're responsible for your own reactions. I didn't make you do anything. If I had the ability to make somebody do things, I would have made someone pay my bills for me a long fucking time ago, or I would have made Beyonce make me a backup dancer on tour. You know, I would have made that shit happen if I had the ability to make somebody be able to do something. I do not. And it's manipulative. It's manipulative because it forces the person who is blaming you. Like, you did this. Like, I mean, growing up, I hit you because I love you. What the fuck was that? You beat the shit out of me because you love me? No, you beat the shit out of me because you didn't know how to handle your emotions. The only people to ever lay their hands on me was my family. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, right? So what it does is it projects the responsibility. If I can blame you for my bad feelings and my discomfort, I will never have to do any work on myself, and I can control you to tap dance around me and please me. And that is manipulation, and that's abuse. Let's call it what it is. It's abuse.
Sounds like we've had some similar experiences.
Yeah. I mean, and again, this was the 80s, yo. Like, I went to school with like fucking handprints on me. And the teachers would be like, what happened? And I was like, I wouldn't get dressed. I was tired. And there would be like fucking welts, handprints on me. And the teacher would, instead of like, I don't know, reporting it or like helping me, it was like, well, what do you do next time? And I was like, get dressed, I guess, right? Like, that's like what the answer was. It wasn't like, your parents shouldn't do that. It was like, you caused them to beat your ass, so like do what they say next time, you know?
That is wild.
Yeah.
My mind is blown for so many different reasons, but you actually spoke on it. So in my household,
no, I didn't speak on it. It was noticed at school.
But you still said something. So something similar happened to my sister. And she lied. because it was very much like, don't talk about what goes on in this house.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got the what goes on in our house stays in our house. I got the talk after that, because
Yes,
we don't talk about that. What goes on in our house stays in our house. Like
this
all
abuse
we're
is
gonna keep,
private.
yeah, we're gonna keep all the abuse localized in this house, okay? So nobody's ever gonna know about it, and if they do, you're gonna pay.
Yeah, yeah,
Also abuse, also abuse. In case anybody was wondering, also abuse.
like even I won't say now because now I feel very much free to speak about my experience. I haven't spoken about it publicly, but yeah, like just that thought to like what goes on in the house stays in the house. So all of the abuse and whatnot that I experienced growing up, I just thought that was life because I didn't
Yeah,
speak about it to friends or, family. I didn't talk about it because I'm like, well, this is normal. This
yeah,
is just what happens. But I can honestly say, with my upbringing and the abuse that I experienced at the hands of my mother, the punishment never fit the crime.
but there was no crime.
Right,
You weren't doing anything. You were
right.
literally existing as a kid, having a reaction to something that shouldn't have been happening to you in the fucking first place. Period.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. There was nothing. You can't do anything wrong like that when you're 8. You don't even have like the discernment and the emotional capacity to understand and comprehend what the hell's going on. You can't be responsible for adult stuff. It's not possible.
And that, starts to mold and create and shape the perfection complex.
Yep.
Because if I'm perfect, then I won't get beat. If I'm perfect, I won't get yelled at. She won't scream at me. And, even just hearing someone yell or get yelled at or get loud, like that can trigger something in my system. I know that that's my shit. That's for me to handle and deal
Right.
with.
Right.
But again, that comes from me learning and doing the work and figuring that out.
Yeah.
And also knowing that it's okay to remove yourself from situations that bring those things up. And
Yes.
there was something else that was said. My therapist said, when you are aware of a situation, and of course, this doesn't, go for every situation, but when you are aware of a situation and how someone is treating you, once you're aware and you stay, you become a
Complicit.
volunteer,
You're
not a victim.
complicit. Yep. You're
Yes, you're
complicit in your
volunteering.
own abuse, own suffering.
Hey, listeners! If you're enjoying today's episode of Candid Conversations with Dr. Kelly, then take a second to like, share, and subscribe. Every listen helps us spread awareness, spark conversation, and educate communities about concussions, CTE, and overall brain health. Together, we're changing how the world thinks about the brain, one conversation at a time. So tap that subscribe button, like this episode, and share it with someone you care about. And let's keep the candid conversations going.
Can't, Because when you know better, you now have a responsibility to yourself to do better. I can't blame you if you didn't know. No one can blame you. I don't blame 28-year-old Angela because she didn't know. She didn't know. Right? 43-year-old Angela sure knows some shit. So if we get ourselves into a situation willingly and we're aware of it and I still stay, like, baby girl, that's on you. Like, you have the tools and the skills and the knowledge now to never do that shit again,
And to be accountable to yourself and for yourself.
For sure.
And also being able to work through, like, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like this. So what are you going to do about it? Because you have the knowledge and you've done the work to, I can just walk away. I can just block this person. I can just have a conversation. And that's also difficult when you're going through that healing process of having challenging conversations because you've been conditioned to be perfect and a people pleaser and to silence yourself and don't have a voice. And so those conversations can be tough and while uncomfortable, still very free. Because when I had the conversation with my sister to part ways, I was this close to just, well, like, no, I don't mean this. I was quiet. And when we hung up the phone, there was just this weight that was lifted where it's like, I'm not going to have to feel guilted for being honest or saying I don't want to do something, and then it being thrown back in my face as like, well, you don't love me, or you must hate me, or you must X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I don't have to experience those manipulations anymore.
Yeah.
And to live a life without getting your mind fucked is so peaceful. And I'm just like, that's my thing. If you disturb my peace, you can't stay.
That's it. There's no, that is the best, most like hardest boundary. And I love what you're saying though. I also want to invite this idea of like, not everything warrants a conversation. Not everyone has the capacity for the conversation that you want to have, you know? So I think it's important sometimes where you actually do get to just walk away without any explanation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Closure does not have to be a conversation.
It doesn't. Or like, I don't want this anymore doesn't have to be a conversation. I don't want to say I ghost, but I'm also like,
I ghost.
Yeah. I mean, I do, because I'm like, this isn't it. I've been in 2 situations recently where I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I've just like up and left. And we can have a conversation about it, but I don't think that you're in a position to truly understand why I left in the first place. And that is everything I need to know about why I'm walking away. And I am not responsible to make you understand. You don't have to like it. I don't really care if you do or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure if it even warrants a conversation, because it's clear we are not operating on the same page, in the same book, in the same library, you know?
And it's like speaking to like you've done the work so you can have these conversations. And I feel people who have been therapized, I call it being therapized.
Yeah, for sure.
We can have conversations that people who have not been therapized can't have or wouldn't understand.
Right. Like my mother, come on.
Who?
My mother? We do not. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
So in those instances, I'm like, you haven't done the work. And again, when you're therapized, that's not a condescending thing. People can hear those kinds of things and think like, oh, you're trying to insult me. I'm not trying to insult you at all. I'm just saying we're communicating in 2 different ways. We're saying different things. And while I can be open to hearing, considering a different perspective, people who have not been therapized, I find that it is way harder for them. They have much more concrete thinking. They take offense when you speak truth. And I like when I have these conversations, they're respectful. I'm not cussing people out and calling them horrible things. Like just the honesty and the even toneness, like just the calmness can be agitating to someone who hasn't done the work. Yeah. And so it's like, well, then there's nothing else to say. And be blocked and be blessed. Not going to wish anything bad on you. That's not the type of person that I am, but you can't be a part of my intimate circle or in my space and my energy. And, this is what you can contribute. Yeah.
Take care. I say God bless all the time. That's my, I'm done. Once I say God bless to you, that's it.
Yeah. Mine used to be, I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Yeah. I also have started saying have the day you voted for. And that is also...
I love that one.
The day you voted for.
Hat too.
Yeah, it should. Get fucked. Have the day you voted for.
Yes, so I'm so glad you said that. Please explain to the listeners, what is get fucked?
Oh my God. So obviously you can tell by how I speak and what I stand for that I believe in equity and justice and just do what you want. Do what you want. And living in Massachusetts, right? This is where I'm from Boston. And, we're pretty blue. We're pretty liberal up here. And I just don't have the space for it anymore. I'm tired. And I'm tired of people who are voting. And I just want to say this as respectful as possible. Give me a second. Should I just
finding it?
I'm finding it. Yeah. It really is frustrating to have people who will vote against their own self-interest, because the leopards are going to eat your face. Okay. That's it. The leopard, Francesca, we hear you. It's a bop. The leopards will eat your face. And if you're voting to uphold patriarchy, white supremacy, wealth, heteronormativity, I have nothing to say to you. I have nothing to say to you. Get fucked, please. And I made a hat that just, it says get fucked on it. And the only people who have a problem with it are the people who it's for. You know what I'm saying? So I have nothing left to say. If you chose your whiteness and your white supremacy over being a woman, I have nothing to say to you. If you chose thinking that somehow you're going to be part of like the wealthy boys club over humanity, get fucked. Get fucked. Because nobody's ever going to choose you. They're not going to choose. Stop being a fucking pick me. If you are not white, male, and wealthy, and have been your whole life, you're not part of the club. And it's not for you, and it never will be. So, like, please understand that. Please understand that. And get fucked.
Get fucked. Get fucked. We need a mic drop in here.
You know? Like, and I don't know what else to say. You know?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
If you're a woman and you don't believe women have rights to their body, I don't know what to say to you. If you have a heartbeat and you don't believe that people have the right to exist on this earth, regardless of like where their passport says that they're from, if you don't believe that people just are deserving of food and shelter and safety, regardless of how much money they make, I don't know what to say to you. That's crazy to me.
They all need a hat. They all need to. They all need the get fucked hat. And what's frustrating is the lack of accountability. It's like they will quickly go over like, yeah, I voted for Trump. And but this is what's happening to me now. And it's like, so you voted because you didn't think you were gonna get fucked. You
That's
thought
what I'm saying.
everybody else was going to get fucked. And now you're saying that you too are part of this.
Yeah, what did you think? You know? And again, like, I mean, I'm glad you're here now, but yo, at some point you gotta like own this, and you have to kind of like step in the shit that you stepped in and wipe it off your shoe.
I say that sit in the shit. Sit
in the shit. Sit in the shit. And again, like this is coming from like a white woman in Massachusetts who's pissed off. So like, be real, Angela. But nobody should be asking anybody for fucking anything, period, but especially like people who are already disenfranchised to begin with based off of these systems that fuck people over. Don't come to black people. Don't come to black women. Please do not ask gay people for anything. Do not ask a non-native English speaker to do fucking anything for you. Stop.
And there is a lot of, where is this? Why aren't we? And it's like the time for we was in November.
The time for we was like March of 2015. Okay. That's where it started. Okay. I encourage anybody to read Zerlina Maxwell's book, The End of White Politics. Please read that book. It really dives into like what I'm saying around the pillars of how our society is built, because it shouldn't be shocking to anybody of how we got here. You know, we got here because you didn't choose humanity. You chose the pillars that have been in place forever, thinking that if I could get in good, they won't harm me. And that is a full circle moment. That is exactly what we're talking about. You chose deference. You chose to please. You chose to uproot yourself.
Did you know there are millions of people who still don't recognize the signs and symptoms of a brain injury and still don't know that help is out there? That's why the Brain Talk Foundation started the Give a Dollar, Save a Brain campaign. Your $1 helps us raise awareness, educate communities, and bring Brain Talk Day directly to the people who need it most. Plus, every gift is tax deductible because the Brain Talk Foundation is a registered 501c3 nonprofit. So, if you believe in brain health, donate your dollar today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting braintalkfoundation.org. Together, we can change the future of brain health. Absolutely. And it's, dividing people, relationships. I, ended up breaking up with my best friend over it. She is a white woman, and I call her a Trumper by proxy. My therapist and a lot of other people think that she voted for Trump, but her parents did. And I made a comment where I said I woke up one morning and I was looking at just, I try to take moments in the morning where I can just pray and be grateful that I woke up and pray for a wonderful
Take your
day and all of
gratitude.
that. Right, before reaching for the phone, because I'm like, the fuckery that is going to be at the top of my timeline. It's always like since January, it has just been, negative thing, negative thing, negative thing. So I open it up and it was just images of January 6th and how he was pardoning everybody and calling them good people. And
Bring
then
back Andrew Tate. Like, what? What are we
right,
doing? What are we doing?
right. And so the comment that I made to my former best friend was, it's really disappointing that your parents voted for this.
Yeah.
And she was like, we can't demonize them. They don't,
Okay.
they're not educated.
I gotta,
Like
I'm
we
getting
are,
sweating. I'm sweating.
right? And so I said, like, well, if I kindly said that is an excuse. That's an excuse, because at this point in life, if you're uneducated, it's because it's by choice.
Choice.
Everybody has access to
phone.
technology at their fingertips, whether it's a phone, a tablet, a television, whatever it may be. You can search policies, you can look at other options, other politics. And I obviously did not vote for Trump, but I for darn sure turned on Fox and saw what they were talking about. Sure, and listened a little bit. And
I try to tolerate that just so I know what's happening, Yeah.
Exactly. And she told me that her parents keep it on Fox and that's all they watch all day. And from there, it just kind of like fizzled down. And then it turned into like, well, she was saying that she was for humanity. She never wanted to talk about the actual comment that I made. I'm like, this isn't about, your love for humanity or anything like that. This is about, I said that it was disappointing. Your parents voted for Trump, and you are saying that I can't speak on that or I can't demonize them. I'm like, I'm not demonizing them. I just said it was disappointing. And that's tough. That's a tough situation to be in.
I'll demonize them. Come on. Call it what it is.
Right. Say it again.
I said, I'll demonize them. Call it what it is. And I think this is a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, a lot of whites to swallow. Like, your parents are racist. Your parents are assholes. Like, you have to own that. You can love, and now this comes the time where there's now a dichotomy and things become uncomfortable, because how do you love someone who's an asshole? That's your journey, because they can be assholes and you can still love them. And you have to figure out where to put that, because what they're doing is not okay. So you don't have to justify it just because they're your parents. Okay. Like, you have to own that. And I think if you're not loud and proud about, I want everybody to know where I stand on this. Like, I don't want there to be any, there's no gray area on where I stand. And I think if it's not crystal clear, then we know what it is. If it's not crystal clear where you stand, then I know what it is. And I would just rather you come out and say, this is what I believe in. And this is who I voted for. And here's why. And I want you to look your friends in the face and say it with the pride that you had when you voted. Say it. Say it with your chest. Say it with your whole chest. Say it with your whole chest.
I very much am like, do you understand? Like, they are responsible for this. And if she secretly voted, like, you two are responsible for this. And the thing that just blows my mind is she has a black son. So it's like your parents voted for this against the interest of their grandchild. And so much was shifted away from all of that, because I was explaining, like, you need to have an understanding of what racism looks like, the different kinds, because, just because someone doesn't, throw out the Confederate flag and is, using the hard ER when they say the N-word, like, that does not mean that that's the only kind of racist. I'm like, if you support racists, that by proxy,
that's what I mean,
in the pool that puts you as being a part of it. And she obviously didn't like the things that I was saying. This is via email at this point, but she was, well, we've let you in our home, we've invited you to dinners.
Pause. Pause. Like, I'm doing a charity for you. Get out of here. That in and of itself, bye.
Yeah.
That's a God bless.
Got the Martin Luther King quotes and the Mother Teresa quotes and the Bible quotes. And it ended up fizzling. And I'm like, this, I very much, therapy and what can you control and all of that. Like, I love her, but I cannot navigate the next 4 years with someone who is complicit or in defense of. So I call her a Trumper by proxy. I don't know if she voted, but
I think it's obvious, but whatever.
But I'm just like, you have to be within community right now.
Yeah.
Because to be in a space where it's like, well, I can see, look at what is happening.
Right. I think this comes down to a lot of people, and I'm gonna give people just a moment of a free pass for a second. I think it comes down to the reality of where we are and the fantasies and the privilege in which you have continued to exist. And it is okay to acknowledge that you have a sense of privilege and a hierarchy of privilege. It's okay, and that has benefited you. It is okay to acknowledge that. I didn't do it, right? Like I also understand that I've been able to operate in that sense, and I think it's okay. We have to get here. But now we're in a position where the reality of our situation is harmful. It's harmful. No one is blaming you. No one is mad at you. But if you continue to operate with these privileges without the awareness of how that privilege is now harming and impacting others, that is where the problem lies. That is where the problem lies. And it takes a lot to really say, wow, that's not okay. And maybe I've been given opportunities and maybe I've been given free passes that I might not have been deserving of. Damn. Yeah, you have to. You have to do that work in order to be able to hold space for what is happening to people without their consent. And yeah, I think this is new. It can be really new for a lot of people. And it doesn't make you a bad person if you have privilege. And I don't think it's a good or bad at any, I think that's too black and white. I think if you're not understanding how to dismantle it as a whole, that's a problem. That's a problem. How are you using your privilege? How are you using these opportunities that you've been given without doing fuck all? How are you giving it, and how are you helping, and how are you standing up for others? That's all.
It also means you are going to have to step into and operate in an uncomfortable space.
Absolutely.
Even acknowledging privilege can be uncomfortable, but then to have a conversation about it. I mean, my former best friend, she was saying like she doesn't even like having political conversations with her parents because they're so like concrete in their thinking. And I'm like, that is an uncomfortable conversation to be had, but it's like, look at the state of the country and look what they voted for. Like, an uncomfortable conversation coming from their child is warranted, and it's like, you're the person who would have their ear the most.
But I think it comes down to like, well, that's your parents. I think no. Maybe the dynamic changes with your parents, and that's okay. And I think the question is like, what kind of people do I want in my life? Like, I'm not asking you what I want my parents to be. I'm asking you in general, what kind of people do you want in your life? And if your parents don't fit that, then that's up to you to decide where to put them. And if that changes the nature of the relationship, and that means that maybe there isn't a closeness, like that sucks. That sucks, and that's hard. And I'm not saying what to do either way, but get rid of the fantasy of how things should be. What do you want? Always coming back to this. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want the people in your life to bring to you? What kind of safety do you require in all of your relationships? Even if it's from your parents or your siblings or your friends, if it's not it, then they don't belong here. I said what I said.
Round of applause, mic drop, all the things. Yes.
I said what I said.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations with Dr. Kelly. I hope today's discussion left you inspired, informed, and ready to take on your next challenge with a clearer mind. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep striving for a healthier mind and a happier life. I'm Dr. Kelly, and this has been another Candid Conversation.